What's up guys, this is VinylicPuma, and today I wanted to go over what I think are among the top 10 best guns and weapons for Aurelia the Baroness in Borderlands the pre-sequel. Now, before we start, Aurelia specializes in dealing cryo damage and is really good with sniper rifles. What's great about that is how well both of these attributes go together, because many of Aurelia's cryo-based skills will allow you to freeze enemies, making them much easier to crit with your sniper rifles. But I guess without further ado, these will be the top 10 best guns and weapons for Aurelia in Borderlands the pre-sequel, starting now. Number 10. The Proletarian Revolution Pistol. I suppose to be fair, you could also use the non-unique Vladov Anarchist here. However, I think I'm ultimately going to recommend the Proletarian Revolution because of its synergy with the Celestial Baroness class mod. Stat-wise, the Revolution and the Anarchist are fairly similar, and the only differences between the two are that the Anarchist has a slightly higher fire rate than the Revolution, while the Revolution has the ability to expand its own magazine size while it's equipped in the player's hand. And provided you pair the Proletarian Revolution with a class mod that can regenerate ammo, like the Celestial Baroness, you will find that you don't have to reload anywhere near as much as you would with the Anarchist. And thanks to skills like Silver Lining and Large Caliber, you can both add bullets to the magazine when scoring critical hits, in addition to negating some of the penalty decreases to your magazine size that you would incur with the Large Caliber skill. But if you would like to acquire a Proletarian Revolution pistol, I found that the best way to get them to drop is from the enemies located in the Pandora cluster in the Claptastic Voyage DLC. Alternatively, you can also try and defeat EOS towards the end of the Claptastic Voyage DLC as well. Number 9. The Diab Sniper Rifle. While there are many players out there that tend to prefer the non-unique Jacobs Skookum sniper rifle for its superior base damage, I tend to prefer the Jacobs Diab sniper because of its improved fire rate. While you won't be dealing as much damage as you would be with the Skookum, you will be able to fire faster, thus allowing you to achieve a higher DPS. What's also nice about the Diab is its sniper rifle barrel, which is the Vladov barrel. Now, compared to most of the other sniper rifle barrels, which will usually have some kind of stat penalty, the Vladov barrel has none, and simply increases the fire rate of your weapon, as well as the magazine size of your weapon. So typically, you should be able to shoot faster and reload less often than you would have to with other non-unique snipers. So if you ask me, the Diab is a great choice for a sniper rifle because it gets some fairly desirable boosts to its magazine size and fire rate, while not being significantly debuffed in any particular area. If you want a Diab, be sure to keep an eye out for one, as you can acquire one from any suitable loot source. Number 8. The Bada Boom Launcher. When it comes to rocket launchers in Borderlands the pre-sequel, it's really hard to go wrong with the Bada Boom. Not only are you getting great damage with this launcher, but you're also getting pretty good ammo efficiency, because when compared to some of the other legendary launchers like the Cryophobia, Nukem, or Mongol, you'll find that the Bada Boom will allow you to fire many more shots per magazine due to the lower ammo consumption per shot. What's also nice about the Bada Boom is that it can come in any element. However, I think you'll find that an explosive version is probably the most effective on Aurelia, especially when you've got her action skill activated, and I think you'll also find that explosive tends to go well with a lot of her cryo damage based abilities. If you would like a Bada Boom, I would say that your best bet is to acquire one from the grinder, or see if you can get one to drop from any suitable loot source. Number 7. The Pitchfork Sniper Rifle. So, the Pitchfork is a returning weapon from Borderlands 2. While it was a fairly decent sniper rifle in that game, it was definitely overshadowed by other snipers like the Pimpernel and the Lyuda. However, with the absence of those snipers, you may find that the Pitchfork is actually a pretty great sniper rifle, provided you use it under the right circumstances. Specifically, the Pitchfork excels up against enemies with larger critical hit spots, and this is because of how the Pitchfork will burst fire these 5 projectiles in a V-like formation that can all crit, and provided that they do, you'll be surprised at just how much damage you can deal. In fact, if you're looking for a great weapon to farm Iwajira or Eclipse with, the Pitchfork is a great choice due to its sheer DPS potential when going against these enemies that are going to have the larger critical hit spots. With this said, I don't think I would recommend the Pitchfork for much else, because when going up against most mob enemies, you may find that it's really difficult, if not impossible, to get all of the projectiles to crit enemies. Plus, if you have the I Never Miss skill, you may find that you're constantly losing stacks, making it virtually impossible to stack up enough critical hit damage to get the kind of damage output that you really want. Otherwise, if you would like this sniper rifle, you can acquire it from any suitable loot source, or you can try the grinder. Number 6. The Hail Assault Rifle. So, the Hail is a pretty powerful assault rifle that returns from Borderlands 2. Unlike Borderlands 2, however, the Hail is much easier to acquire this time around, as you can get one from defeating Iwajira, who is located in Serenity's Waste. As for the weapon itself, the Hail has significantly increased critical hit bonus, the ability to spawn a second unlisted projectile after traveling a certain distance through the air, and the ability to heal the player for damage dealt. These 3 projectiles come at the cost of a bizarre and somewhat unwieldy projectile pattern. For the uninitiated, the Hail fires projectiles that are meant to arc up and then fall down onto targets, like hail would in a hailstorm. However, if you angle the weapon down slightly and then fire it, you can get those initial projectiles to arc into enemies, dealing potentially pretty good damage. Plus, if you manage to get a cryo version of the Hail, I think you'll find that it goes really well with a lot of Aurelia's skills. Not only can she increase cryo damage, but you can also improve the effectiveness of Frigid Touch. Otherwise, I would say that if you're looking for a great assault rifle to use on Aurelia, I would highly recommend the Hail, and if you want to get it, again, it is in Iwajira's loot pool, so I'd recommend that you farm him. Number 5. The Snyder Sniper Rifle. If you're looking for a great elemental sniper on Aurelia, the Maliwan Snyder is going to be one of your best choices. While this weapon can be confused with the Doll Barrel version, which is inferior, the Snyder that's being used in this video is equipped with the Maliwan Barrel, which provides no inherent debuffs, but provides buffs to both accuracy and elemental effect chance. And this increased elemental effect chance in particular can prove to be a useful bonus on what is otherwise a pretty great sniper. Another reason the Snyder is a great choice is because of how elemental bonuses tend to provide a multiplicative damage boost when compared to standard gun damage bonuses that are simply additive. As this pertains to Aurelia, Aurelia has several skills like Avalanche and Wintertide that flat out boost cryo damage and can greatly enhance the Maliwan Snyder's damage potential. It's also worth mentioning that when it comes to Maliwan snipers specifically, the Snyder tends to be the best choice due to the fact that most legendary and pearlescent Maliwan snipers have been inferior. Typically, many of these weapons, like the pre-sequel's Magma or Borderlands 2's Volcano and Storm, lack the base damage of the Snyder and are generally less effective with criticals the vast majority of the time. Ultimately, if you want a great elemental sniper, keep your eyes peeled for a Snyder, as they can be obtained from any suitable loot source. Number 4. The Absolute Zero Laser. While you should avoid using large caliber with this weapon, the Absolute Zero is a great choice on Aurelia, especially once you've got her action skill going. And thanks to skills like Wintertide, Frigid Touch, and Avalanche, you should be able to not only deal more damage, but also heal off of any of the damage that you would deal with the Absolute Zero. While other lasers like the Rosie may have higher continuous damage bonus and can come in cryo element, the major advantage to using the Absolute Zero is that it's a guaranteed cryo weapon, and I also think that that higher base damage will be more practical on Aurelia. Obviously, the major weakness with using this weapon is its magazine size. However, you can increase this somewhat thanks to Aurelia's Only the Best skill, which will improve the Absolute Zero's magazine size by percentage amounts. If you would like this weapon, your best bet is to acquire it from Shadowtrap when he gives you a random legendary during the System Shutdown quest towards the very end of the Claptastic Voyage DLC. And while it's a little bit of a pain to obtain this gun, I think you'll realize that the effort is well worth it for what is one of the best lasers in the pre-sequel. Number 3. The Long Nail Sniper Rifle. While the Long Nail does feature decreased damage when compared to some of the other sniper rifles on this list, I think you'll find that it's an excellent choice for a sniper rifle on Aurelia. And this is because the one major thing that the Long Nail has going for it is the fact that it has the ability to bypass an enemy's shields and deal damage directly to an enemy's health bar, much like the Trespasser sniper rifle could from Borderlands 2. However, unlike the Trespasser from Borderlands 2, the Long Nail can come in any element and is overall a much more ergonomic weapon. If you would like my opinion, the Cryo version is arguably the best version. Not only does this version have synergy with Aurelia's skills, but because the Long Nail can bypass shields and deal damage directly to an enemy's health bar, you may find that it's actually much easier to freeze them, as shielded enemies normally seem to have some slight resistance to being frozen. Depending on your point of view, you may also like the fact that the Long Nail spawns with fixed parts. This gives it a remarkable amount of consistency stat-wise and potentially makes it really easy to farm, as you really only have to worry about what elemental version that you want. But if you would like a Long Nail, you can acquire one from the Invincible Empyrean Sentinel located in Elisir during and after the Bestest Story Ever Told side quest. Number 2. The Droogs Sniper Rifle. When it comes to non-unique sniper rifles, the Droog is quite possibly one of, if not the best sniper rifles available in not just the pre-sequel, but also in Borderlands 2. This is because it's a Vladov sniper rifle, which are already known for having high fire rate and decent magazine size. However, the Vladov sniper barrel that appears on the Droog only enhances those abilities even further. Typically, the Droog is used up against tougher enemies with high health or up against bosses because of its impressive DPS potential. And in a certain sense, you could kind of think of this weapon as a really high-powered assault rifle or an SMG with superior critical hit bonus, because it's used sort of in that way. You simply aim at an enemy's critical hit spot, you fire, you unload the entire magazine, and usually 90% of the time, whatever is in front of you is either going to be dead or it's going to have taken a lot of damage. Ultimately, if you're looking for a great sniper rifle, or if you're looking for the sniper rifle that many other great sniper rifles like the Lyuda, the Long Nail, and the Machine are based on, this is the sniper rifle that you're going to want. And like all non-unique snipers, you can acquire the Droog from any suitable loot source. And finally, number 1, the Machine Sniper Rifle. Based off of the Droog sniper rifle, the Machine is a relatively unique sniper rifle due to the fact that it has continuous damage bonus like most Maliwan beam lasers. As you can imagine, this gives the Machine great potential, as it can not only be improved through some of Aurelia's critical hit boosting skills, but the weapon will also increase in damage on subsequent hits due to that continuous damage bonus. This continuous damage bonus attribute makes it a great choice for boss fights, as that's usually going to be the best situation to take advantage of that continuous damage bonus. Otherwise, I think you'll find that the Machine is on par with most other sniper rifles, and thus you may not really get to exercise this weapon's full damage potential while mobbing. With this said, the major downside to using the Machine is that the weapon has to wind up in order to achieve its maximum fire rate and damage. Plus, you may also be surprised to know that while the Machine does have better stock fire rate, magazine size, and reload speed when compared to your standard Droog, it has a lower listed base damage. So for mobbing purposes, or in situations where you need that first shot to really count, you may find that the Droog is actually more practical. Still, I think you're going to want this weapon, and to get one, you can either receive it from any suitable loot source, or perhaps more likely, you can receive it from someone that already received it as a part of a shift code reward. But alright guys, I think that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you liked this video, feel free to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.